Hi dear friends, click on the like button and the subscribe button, hit the bell icon and don't forget to follow me on Instagram.
Hi guys and welcome to another vlog, and I am driving the Mercedes-AMG E63 S 4MATIC Plus. I know it's a very long name right now and sorry for the different camera angle. First things first, let's get into drive mode now. In terms of the safety systems, we are not allowed to turn off ESP, which is kind of a bummer, but the active exhausts are on, and also the car is right now in Sport Plus mode, but we cannot get into race mode because once we get into race mode, ESP will get disabled, and then once ESP is disabled, it's kind of it up. Meanwhile, let me turn off the air conditioning, and right now we are all set to go. So those lights will turn green. So in Sport Plus mode, now this car produces a lot of power. It's powered by a 4-liter bi-turbo V8, which is also there in the AMG GT as well as the AMG GT-R, but over here it produces more power and torque. So it gets a twin scroll turbo. Basically in the turbocharger there are two inlets for the exhaust or this thing to come, gas to come, and we are all set right now. Red light, when it will go green, we will give it the beans. So left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. My heart is beating like 1,000 beats a minute. See, even I'm saying any rubbish right now because this car is so powerful. More powerful than the AMG GT-R, and we are all set to go. Here we go. So 0 to 100 kilometers per hour comes up in just 3.4 seconds. That 0.2 seconds more than the GT-R, and I'm already doing 180 kilometers per hour. Here we are on the brakes for the first corner, downshifting. Oh my god, too much understeer. Never mind. Actually, now the speeds are so fast that you just don't realize what speed you're doing. And here we go into the start finish. This is a real long straight, full on the beans. Top speed is limited to 250 kilometers per hour, but this car can be opened up to go till 300 kilometers per hour with the AMG driver pack. And there start finish. Let's see what speed we're going to do. 137, hard on the brakes. The brakes are just fantastic. So this car now gets 4-wheel drive, yes, and guess what, there is also a drift mode. A drift mode in a E-Class. Why would you do that? I mean, you would seat 4 people in the car and go drifting. So it has got 4MATIC, which either it's 4MATIC Plus, and you can actually turn off, yes, front wheel drive. So you can go only rear wheel drive. It handles so well. It's so precise in spite of it weighing almost. Turn on the audio, no? Music system. Okay, done. I just pressed the button by mistake. The brakes are not fading like I expected it to. And this is kind of a short lap here on the VIC. Exhaust sounds so good, steering is so accurate, but this car weighs 2000 kgs. That's right, 370 kgs more than the AMG GT-R. That's why in spite of this one having more power and torque, isn't much quicker than the AMG GT-R. Now with this awesome 4-wheel drive system, what can happen is that you can go drifting. So drift mode gets activated in Sport Plus mode, and I cannot put it into Sport Plus right now, but once in Sport Plus, it is absolutely phenomenal. Here we are ending this lap. So guys, this is a kind of a small impression of the E63 AMG. There's so much to talk about this car, but unfortunately I did not get much time with it. The acceleration is absolutely brutal. The way it goes is wow. Anyways, we are back in the pit, and we have to maintain under 60 kilometers per hour, but I'm at 16 kilometers per hour. Great car. So I'm going to do another lap where I'll explain other things about this car.
Alright, so I would take over the car for the cooldown if you want to go.
I'll do the cooldown, you can come.
Yeah, we just got the info that we have to do it. It's just, I don't know.
Actually, I want to finish talking, so they told me that I'll drive at the speed you tell me to. There's not a problem at all.
Let me check real quick, okay?
Sure. So right now sitting in the pit lane, the front tires have got overheated because of the hard cornering which was being done, and I think I kind of messed up. This car is right now in Sport Plus mode. It's not being put into race mode because then ESP gets deactivated and it's going to spin.
Okay, you can go yourself. Just be really slow, gentle, and cool down the car.
All right.
Okay.
So guys, right now I'm on a cool down lap with the E63 and I just have to drive it very normally, not speed up. So last time actually what happened, I was so busy talking, I forgot to brake hard only, and I was like not full on the brakes and kind of went really wide away. You can see the marks over there. And right now this is the cool down lap which I'm going on, and look, now I have upshifted to 4th gear and it still pulls so brilliantly well, already doing 100 kilometers per hour. Now this car has changed a lot from the previous E63. So the previous E63 AMG was just a rear wheel drive. This one is 4MATIC because North America is a big market for this car, and in the North American market people want it to have both front and rear wheel drive because of traction. Now rear wheel drive is very slippery. Right now on this straight I'm just doing 100 kilometers per hour. Let me apply the brakes a bit. Here we are into 6th gear and I get on the throttle, it is upshifting right away. Sorry, it's downshifting right away. Now this car gets a 9-speed MCT speed shift AMG gearbox which has been tuned. It is lightning fast with shifts. It's very fast with its shifts. And in terms of the interior, there's a 12.3 inch screen here. There's also a 12.3 inch screen here. So double 12.3 inch screens, and you can see the speedometer is right there in the center. And right now the front tires are really heated. The left rear is also heated. The right rear is almost about to heat, so kind of giving it the beans too much on the track. And you can see there is the signature of the person who actually put together this car. So all AMG cars are specially made, hand built, and this car doesn't feel its weight somehow. Obviously the C63 AMG is much more fun to drive, but this one is also quite good. Now the interior has a lot of nice comfort, and there are a lot of accessories also available. This car rides on 20-inch wheels. It has a lot of tweaks over the regular E-Class. It's the most powerful E-Class ever, and even in front of the AMG GTS, that is, then the GT Roadster and the GTR, it produces more power and torque. And the peak torque of the GTR is 700 Newton meters. The peak torque of this car is 850 Newton meters, and guess what? Between 2,500 to 4,500 RPM. So there is very negligible turbo lag. It's a bi-turbo motor, obviously, and the exhaust sounds very good as well. Now what I really like about this particular E63 is that it can go really fast and it can take 4 people in comfort. Now this doesn't have as much space as the regular E-Class which is sold in India, because that's a long wheelbase. This isn't a long wheelbase, and they haven't given it carbon ceramic discs. In fact, you get regular steel discs. Now carbon ceramic is optional. Braking power is supreme, but it obviously heats the brakes up if you drive it like a mad person, which you shouldn't. Steering offers very good feel and feedback somehow. It weighs up brilliantly well, and it's very stable at high speeds too. It handles brilliantly too, but you know, the real USP of this car is the drift mode. Now to activate drift mode, you have to go into Sport Plus. No, you have to go into race mode, turn off ESP and click on both these paddles, and it will say drift mode. Then you have to, you know, accept that drift mode. That's how it's done. And I am enjoying so much driving this car on the track. It has brilliant amount of poke. Yes, it could have been lighter. Now the AMG GTR is 370 kgs lighter, which makes it a better handler, but that's only a rear wheel drive. 4MATIC Plus obviously adds a lot of weight to this car, but you know, it can send 100% power to either of the axles, either the front or the rear axle. That's the best thing about this vehicle, 100% power to either the front or the rear axle. Wow. And in drift mode now, rather when you turn off ESP also, what it lets you do is that it lets you drift a bit, and it will not intervene by cutting the power immediately. It will send power to the front wheels, but it will not happen immediately, but it will let you play around a bit. So in that sense, this car is absolutely phenomenal. Now obviously, how does it pair with the M5 is something we need to find out. This produces more power, and you know that the M5 is all about handling. So I will drive this car later on along with the M5 and tell you which is the better of these two. And there's also the RS6. So plenty of options in the segment. Right now I think I have kind of cooled down stuff. No, the tires are still very heated up in spite of me driving under 100 kilometers per hour. Oh my god, it's so hot. Without the air conditioning, it's like massively hot. Quickly on the design of this car, you can see 20-inch wheels, similar to the E-Class, but looks meaner now. Those big fat vents for cooling the car. And it is a long car, almost 5 meters in length. Yeah, I'll just take it. Thank you. And the rear is purposeful with those quad exhausts. E63 S, E63 S written over there. By the way, they also have a regular E63 which gets 30 less power, 40 horsepower less, but that's not being sold in India. This one costs 1.5 crore ex showroom. So the thing is that You can see there's a lot of space at the rear, but this one costs 1.5 crores. It's expensive because it's a CBU, which means that it will become more expensive when you register it, because CBU, more taxes there as well. Red brick calipers. Color looks nice, and definitely it is a car which is mind-boggling in terms of design, and yet has the comfort. So this is actually a car which is for munching miles. So V8 bi-turbo 4MATIC Plus. First time E-Class gets 4-wheel drive, and by the way, it gets 4-wheel drive, that's fine, but it's the most powerful E-Class ever. It gets air suspension. I didn't mention it while driving. So airmatic suspension. The old one had coil springs, so you can adjust the suspension 3 modes. There is comfort, there's sport and sport plus. In fact, it even gets cylinder deactivation technology. What that does is that if you drive in comfort mode between 1000 to 3250 rpm, it will shut 4 cylinders off in the interest of fuel economy. Yet this car guzzles a lot. It has a 66-liter fuel tank only, and I think 10 liters is the reserve. You can see there's some carbon trims which have been put on this car, but really, I mean, look at the sound. The sound is amazing, but it's not true to the old AMG sound. Those ones sounded way better. This kind of tamed down, but well, that's what emissions and new standard norms are doing. Is it the best E63 yet? Perhaps not. The one before this, 2 generations behind, that was kind of heavy, but it had the madness of an AMG. This one feels slightly like a BMW actually. Tamed down, drives very well, very eager, and very sure-footed as well. It gets 360-degree parking. I don't want to go into the features actually. There are too many of them. Let's just focus on the car, the driving, and they've taken the same engine from the AMG GT S, GTR, GT Roadster, and what they have done is they have made changes to the internals to make it even better, and that's the reason it produces more power and torque. Like 612 horsepower is a lot of power, and when you couple that to 850 Newton meters of torque, it's insane how much power and torque this car produces. I mean, every time you power off, you really need a lot of new sets of tires. The interior is nice, but I don't find the need for that clock in the center. Anyways guys, I can keep talking about this car all day long, but that's it from me now. Bye bye.